Yeah, guys, this movie is fucked up. Incredibly fucked up. This is The Untold Story, also known as Eight Immortals Restaurant, The Untold Story. And I am Agony 333! So let's get into this violent, disturbing, fucking crazy ass movie. It is from 1993. It is 1 hour and 36 minutes, and it is crime drama. This movie takes place between the years of the late 70s into the mid 80s and basically centers around a man, a guy who is basically a psychopathic, fucking deranged serial killer. But what is especially disturbing about this tale and about this man is that he essentially kills a shop owner, an owner of a restaurant, takes over the said business, and decides basically to go on a murdering spree for anybody who finds out about his misdeeds, and basically grinds them up into meat, which he uses to make pork buns, which he serves to the patrons of this restaurant. So yeah, he basically is not really a cannibal, but he cuts these people up, murders them, and then serves them to people, unsuspecting people. Yeah, that's as fucked up as it comes, as it doesn't it, guys? But anyways, let's get into some actual points here. Now, a highlight, the main thing that at least to me is good about this film is the acting on part of the main villain, which is Anthony Wong. That's the actor. Really great actor, by the way. He doesn't just do a good job in this movie, but in every movie that I've seen him in. Because another good movie from him, which is also sort of similar to this one, is Ebola Syndrome. Really great movie as well. As well as another one called Hard Boiled, which is a really badass action flick. But the acting in part of the villain is just really, really well done. Like, there's a lot of movies that have some serial killer or have, some spree and stuff like that. And they have, like some sort of villain or a bad character, a bad person, bad guy, whatever. But in particular, the ones that are usually the best are where they truly sell the despicable nature of that character and that villain. And this is one of those that I'm going to be getting into. There will probably be other ones that I review later on. That in particular, the main actor who portrays the villain does such a great job and the story handles it so well that, it basically elevates that movie much higher than other ones who try to do that. This is one of those that really sells a despicable, evil, just horrible, hateful character, a character that you hate. It does that very well. But yeah, basically from the very beginning of this movie, you see this guy get into an argument with with someone over gambling and kills them immediately. So you see pretty much a killing right from the beginning of this film. The other cool thing though is it doesn't just highlight and show the villain. It also shows the detective perspective, which is like, the police force that are trying to piece things together because, body parts start basically washing up on a beach and start sending red flags through the community. And then people are going missing and stuff like that. But you'll get both perspectives. You get the perspective of this horrible, evil, heinous motherfucker, this villain. But then you also get the perspective of the police trying to catch him. And what's pretty cool, at least I thought, is it's pretty juvenile humor, but it's really hilarious, just ridiculous humor, and I really like it. So, I mean, it's, you get this evil, horrible person, you see him committing these crazy crimes, which are, notable. Trust me, they're notable in this movie. They're pretty horrible to watch. But you not only see that, but then you get to see the police force going through evidence and other stuff, but there's a lot of really great humor there that's funny and makes these characters likable and stuff. So yeah, it has a cool mix of those things. And that's another thing, is a lot of horror movies or movies in general that would deal with disturbing subject matter don't tend to sometimes nail humor very well, but this one, it works well in some ways. It goes well, it actually goes together okay. Damn smoke. Stay lit for the duration of the video, fucker. Anyways, next. Great humor. Makes them into pork buns. There's a little bit of cheesy effects, but it's only a little minor bit and doesn't really do anything else for the film because everything else is entertaining and well done. And yes, it is a film that's also on disturbing lists. As I've mentioned, it's a disturbing film. And yes, it is indeed very much so disturbing. And unfortunately, one of the most disturbing aspects I'll probably have to save until spoilers, just because it's something that's much later on in the film. But yeah, you see him pretty much slaying innocent people and cutting them up and making them into pork buns. And there's a particular scene, like I said, that I'm going to have to save for spoilers, that especially elevates the disturbing factor of this film. But yes, it's indeed disturbing, so if any of that subject matter already sounds unsettling, yeah, check this out. It should do the job, especially, like I said, the scene that I have to wait for spoilers is the scene in particular that sells that disturbing atmosphere of this film. But the funny thing, at least I thought was kind of amusing, is the only one who was smart enough to not eat the pork buns was the police chief. Everybody else eats them and then ends up regretting it later once they actually figure out what's going on. But the police chief's the only one who was lucky enough to not actually, ingest those pork buns. It's fucking terrible. But another thing, this is a trivia thing, is that this is actually roughly based on a true case, sadly enough. Yeah, that's how messed up the human populace can be, people, is that this is actually based off of something true to an extent. I'm not sure which, because I haven't exactly researched the case or any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is partially based on truth. But yeah, I think that may be all of the things that I have to get to before going into the spoilers section. I'm just taking a quick look here. But like I said, if you guys thought that the summary, the story sounds messed up enough, and if that sounds like something disturbing, I would say check it out. It will definitely do its job in freaking you out. It does for me, especially that later scene like I mentioned. And now let's go ahead and go to spoilers after I give it its rating. And I settled on a rating of 8. I almost gave it an 8.5. It's not like the greatest movie, but I really like this movie. It just does all those things well. It has a really great villain and stuff, and it is indeed disturbing. So, and it's a really well done movie. And like I said, Anthony Wong is a really great actor, and everything that he's done that I've seen, he's always been really good. And in particular, playing a villain, he's very good. And that's what kind of sells this. I don't know if I'd say it's a Heath Ledger type of character, but it's one of those cases, at least for me, where the actor does such a great job. It's one of those cases where it elevates that film and gives it the extra bit there. So yeah, I gave it an 8, almost 8.5, but an 8. Great movie. It is disturbing. It's got some intense killings and stuff like that. So, and it is obviously one of those that is disturbing for its gruesome violence and acts of such. So if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, go ahead and check it out. And now let's get into the spoilers. All right. So, the spoilers here that I'm going to be talking about is there is a scene where once he's apprehended, much later on in the film, because I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I'll go back a bit because there is another disturbing scene, and it's one where he kills the waitress. Like, man, like the reason this guy is so despicable, and I couldn't really highlight it into spoilers, is the excessive rage-filled nature that he goes into, where he just fucking loses it. And just, it's not just, a killing, it's a really cruel, vengeful, hateful, ugly display. It's not, these aren't, they're not like some stylish killings like in some action movie or something that are like, cool and slick or anything. These are really gruesome and difficult to watch scenes, especially this time. And like I said, that later one that I still haven't mentioned, the late scene that's like towards the end of the film, they're very tough to watch because he's just an incredibly merciless guy. He's just a merciless son of a bitch. And the things he does to these people is just, it's very, very bad stuff. But what he does is the waitress, where he basically rapes a waitress, and it's just, I don't want to get into it that much. I guess you could watch it if you want to. But it's very rough to watch. It's horrible to watch. And that scene in particular, like I said, I figured I would end up mentioning. But later on when he's apprehended, the one I was going to get to, is he basically ends up cutting his wrists. And man, that scene, like, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of scenes in movies where they do stuff like that. And it's almost like you can not really feel it, but it's just like, it makes me like, it makes me kind of flinch in a way because you just see him kind of sawing at his wrists and stuff. because he attempts to commit suicide quite a few times in this film. But man, that was just really messed up to see. And then he even like bites the vein and stuff, and it's just really crazy shit. But yeah, I guess I'll get to the scene that I've been talking about, but I haven't exactly highlighted just yet. And that scene is towards the end of the film when they're talking to him about killing the shop owner and stuff. Well, it turns out the shop owner had an entire family. And sadly, this incredibly demented individual didn't just kill the shop owner. He killed the shop owner, the wife, and all of the children. And it shows that. It has a flashback sequence where you get to see the crime take place. And that is the scene that is in particular an incredibly difficult one to watch. Because not many movies really would show, not many movies that I've seen, not many even disturbing films show cruelty being done to children, especially in such a fashion where that he's actually killing them. But this movie goes that far, and it's very tough to see. It's very messed up because I mean he proceeds to beat the husband and hurt the mother right in front of the kids, and then proceeds to one by one after killing those two, kill the children. And so it's very, very hard to watch. Always messes with me every time I've seen that scene in particular. I mean, other scenes, like I've already mentioned, are pretty messed up. But that one in particular is a very hard scene to watch just because, I don't know, it gets under your skin. It gets under my skin. And like I said, it really, all of the acts that this guy commits through the film are already pretty, horrible. But this one in particular is the worst of those, and it saves that for the end. And so that sort of, in a way, kind of, also does in a sense well for the film because, you kind of see it go upward instead of, like other films where like something might happen and the film kind of slows down or something. You see it slowly kind of climb in the depravity and other things like that, and keeping you sort of engaged and stuff too. And it's not, like I said, all just about that either. You get the cop angle where they're trying to find the case and capture him, go through evidence, and there's humor in there to kind of break up some of the craziness. So it all goes together very well. But then the final thing is, this guy is just so messed up because he's so hell-bent on not being caught, even though he's caught. Like, they basically know he's done it, but this guy is so hell-bent on, not dealing with the punishment of all of the things that he's done through this movie, that in the end, he ends up just killing himself to get out of the punishment. But yeah, just the way that this character was handled and the way that the acting was done is what makes it a good movie and sells, like I said, all of that disturbing, messed up quality of it. But yeah, I guess that now that is about all that I've had to really cover and get to. I already covered the one trivia thing I was able to find out. But it is an actual good movie and stuff, and it's, a crime drama film and stuff. Even though it's not horror, it's still a disturbing flick and everything, and the acting's well done on Anthony Wong's part, and, others as well, but Anthony Wong really sold the role and stuff, as he did in other ones too. But I hope that you guys have maybe discovered a new movie to check out, or, found this review interesting or good or whatever, and I hope that you all have a great, wonderfully amazing day, and I will see you guys next time in the next review. And this is Agony333 signing out. Have an amazingly great one, guys. Peace.